Okay, so let's begin with a quick pre-story. Some mysteries fade with time, others become part of history. Nearly 3 decades after the death of Notorious B.I.G., questions still remains unanswered. The case has inspired countless investigations, theories, documentaries, and debates. Was it relatation, a consequence of a large conflict, or was the truth buried beneath layers of silence, fear, and loyalty? In this third investigation, we explore one of hip hop's greatest mysteries and the questions that continues to go on and on through the culture to this day. So let's get into it. You know, people often searches for who did it, but sometimes what keeps a mystery alive is the feeling that something important was never finished. There are crimes that shock the world, and there are crimes that change the course of history. The death of Notorious B.I.G. belongs to second category. What makes this case so fascinating is not only the loss itself, but the silence that followed. Years passed, then decades, and yet the story never truly ended. As this reading unfolds, the first thing that emerges is the feeling of unfinished business, because the cards repeatedly points toward people standing at crossroads, decisions made under pressure, individuals carrying knowledge they may never have fully shared. The energy does not feel simple, it feels layered, like a puzzle, assembled from pieces scattered across different rooms. One of the strongest themes throughout this reading is timing, not necessarily fate in a mystical sense, but timing in the human sense. Moments where a different decision might have changed everything. Moments where people looked back and wondered what would have happened if events had unfolded differently. And again, the cards return to the idea that multiple paths were converging toward a single outcome. Another striking pattern appears around groups rather than individuals, because the energy does not focus on one isolated figure. Instead, it suggests networks of relationship, conversations, alliances, conflicting interests, people connected through loyalty, ambitions, reputation, and circumstances. And perhaps that is why this case remains so difficult to fully understand, because history often searches for a single villain. Reality is rarely that simple. The reading also reveals something unexpected. Behind the tragedy lies a surprisingly strong energy of creation, music, legacy, influence. The cards repeatedly suggest that the impact of Christopher Wallen's extended far beyond his own lifetime, almost as if the story did not end when his life ended. In some ways, it had only begun, and this creates a strange paradox. The person was lost. The influence became immortal. Another powerful theme involves perception, how stories evolve, how rumors become accepted as truth, how uncertainty creates narratives that survive for decades. The reading also suggests that some questions surrounding this case may never receive universally accepted answers. Not because answers do not exist, but because time itself changes the way history is remembered. Because memories fade, witnesses disappear, perspectives shift, and yet the mystery remains. Perhaps the most emotional aspect of this reading appears near the end. The cards repeatedly return to the idea of consequence, not punishment, not revenge, the consequences. The ripple effect of a single moment extending outward through years, generations, and culture itself. The death of Notorious B.I.G. became more than a criminal investigation. It became a symbol of an era, a symbol of conflict, a symbol of potential, uh, where potential left unrealized. And perhaps that is why people still searching for answers, because solving the mystery feels like restoring something unfinished, like closing a chapter that history never fully completed. But maybe the deepest truth revealed by this reading is something else completely entirely. Maybe people are not only searching for who was responsible, maybe they're searching for, uh, maybe they are searching for meaning, because when a voice that powerful suddenly disappears, the silence that follows can sound for generations. And even now, all these years later, that echo has not completely faded. Thank you for watching.